Hello everyone, welcome to Chart Engineers. This is going to be the fourth lesson of the syllabus and I'm going to discuss a concept that is called fair value gaps. What is a fair value gap? The fair value gap is an area where only one side of the market liquidity has been delivered. This means that there are resting orders in the form of liquidity inside the fair value gaps. Price is likely going to reach for these areas by filling it in so both buy side and sell side liquidity are rebalanced. Why are fair value gaps a useful tool for identifying market direction? The inefficient areas can be used to identify where price may want to reach for as a draw on price. The inefficient areas can also be used to identify where price may want to reverse. Having an understanding about fair value gaps will be useful to navigate through the markets. In this part of the teaching, I'm going to explain on how to identify a fair value gap. Here you can see a little example of a price chart and assume the price is bullish. So I'm going to explain how to identify a bullish fair value gap. Here you can see a black line drawn from this candle, wick high, and a black horizontal drawn from this candle's wick low. And why I am drawing these areas from the candle's wick high to the candle's wick low? It's because on this candle there was buy side delivered all the way back up here and price went lower and closed back here. So in this wick there was buy side delivered and sell side delivered. And the same counts for the opposite side. Here you can see this candle's wick's low, price went lower and then closed back here again. So this wick is not a fair value gap because there was sell side and buy side delivered. This area, however, has only seen buy side being delivered. So this little area here means that there are resting orders in the form of liquidity inside the fair value gap because there was only buy side being delivered. So we can expect price to come back, fill it in, and push away again because price is still bullish. So we can anticipate a higher low to be formed in this area. Here you can see how price is moving lower, filling it in completely, and moving away nicely, following trend and market structure. The mean threshold of a fair value gap. A fair value gap can be deemed as filled when price has rebalanced the area by at least 50%. The 50% mean threshold is a general rule of thumb, so it does not always have to rebalance the area by 50% or more. Here you can see a price chart, little price fractal, and we are assuming that price is bearish. So we have bearish market structure, and price is currently forming a lower low. So let's mark out a fair value gap, like the way we did before. Right there, two black horizontals showing the area where only sell side has been delivered on this candle here. So this little area can be identified as a fair value gap. So we can expect price to come back, fill it in or tap into it and move lower. Here you can see how price tapped into it and pushed lower. But like I explained before, the mean threshold of a fair value gap is 50%, and this red line indicates the 50% mean threshold. So this little area, the fair value gap, is not deemed as filled yet. So we can still expect price to come back and fill it in by at least 50%. Here again, price tapped into it, but has not been filled 50% yet again. But during this retest, there has been a new fair value gap created here. Only buy side has been delivered from this wick's high to this wick's low. So only buy side has been delivered here. And we can mark out the 50% mean threshold with a red line, like we did with the bearish fair value gap up here. And we can see how price filled in by at least 50% and pushed back for a third tap into the bearish fair value gap. But this level has still not been deemed as filled. and this level is. So this level is not significant anymore. And here you can see that price finally finds the fuel to push up, fill it by 50%, and you can see how price is moving away aggressively because there's no business around this level anymore because it has been filled by 50%. So in this part I'm going to show the fair value gaps and the effectiveness of a fair value gap in an uptrend. So here you can see the price chart where price sweeps a swing low here, pushes up and breaks market structure on this candle. It's basically the beginning of a trend shift and we can expect higher price to form. So here, you can see this level here, wicks high till wicks low, this little area here, there's only buy side being delivered. So we can use this area to anticipate potential higher low to form. You can see price pushing lower here, fills it in completely, pushes away. But we're still on an uptrend and price does not move in straight lines. It loves to retrace. So where's the next fair value gap? Right there. Wicks high to wicks low. This little area, blue shaded area, is a bullish fair value gap, only buy side being delivered. And you can see how price comes back into it. But in the previous section, I explained the fair value gap is deemed filled when it fills the area for at least 50%. You can see our price comes back exactly at the 50% mark, right there, and push up. And when this happens, there's usually a quick move away from the level. Here, a little fair value gap. You can see blue shaded area, and price taps into it, push away. Another fair value gap right there, pushes back into it, pushes away. One more time, pinpoint reaction, and push away. So this is an example of the effectiveness of fair value gaps in an uptrend, where we can anticipate higher lows to be formed. Fair value gaps in a downtrend. So now I'm going to show you an example of the effectiveness of fair value gaps in a downtrending market. Here you can see the beginning of a trend shift. Price sweeps the swing high on the left and breaks market structure on this low here. So here, little fair value gap from this wicks low to this wicks high. To this blue shaded area, there was only sell side being delivered, so we can expect price to tap into it and move lower. And here you can see how price taps into it, moves lower. And in this move lower, there has been a new fair value gap created. Right there. Wicks low to wicks high. This blue shaded area was only sell side being delivered. You can see how price taps into it, moves away aggressively again. New fair value gap right there. Price, you see in the blue shaded area, was only sell side being delivered. You see how price taps into it, only by a little, but this is enough. And then price pushes lower. And like I said before, it's not necessary that price fills in the 50% area all the time, but because it's just a general rule of thumb, the price wants to fill it by at least 50%. But here is a nice example of where that didn't happen. It was a small little tap. Here again, tapped into it, price moved lower again. So this was a teaching about fair value gaps. I hope you all find it useful. And yeah, if you understand these fair value gaps, if you play with them a little, backtest it, and see for yourself how effective they are with identifying where price may want to form a higher low, where price may want to form a lower high, where price could reverse, where price may want to react. So yeah, it's a very strong tool for identifying market direction. So yeah, I hope you all find it useful, and I see you all on the other side.